Well, hello again. Welcome again to another episode of Down to Earth, but Heavenly Minded. And I'm your host, Ervish. Today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what project I'm working on right now. I've been going through all the old letters of John Nelson Darby, and I know that there are some out there that really give him a bad rap. But I got to be honest with you, going through all his letters, I find that uh, he was quite a man. I mean, he just I just can't believe what he has accomplished. And he was not a well man. In fact, he was very sickly most of the time. But you got to think back when he lived in the 1800s, and all these letters that I'm reading is from back in the 1800s. And the means of transportation was a lot different than what it is today, of course. We travel all over at such speeds, and we can go from one place to another, one country to another. We got airlines and other means of transportation. But back in his day, it was pretty well a horse and buggy, and also there were trains and ships. But he traveled all over Europe. I mean, he was in Germany and he was in England, went to London a lot of times, and also Ireland. And then he would go to Switzerland, spent a lot of time in Switzerland. And he was just all over. And then he went to America. He also went to Canada. So he traveled abroad. And there were other places that he went. But all this time, he was working on translating the Bible. And he originally learned Greek and Hebrew, and also he had other languages. He spoke German and French. In fact, a lot of his letters were written in French. But he also just accomplished so much. And some of the brothers that he wrote to, I'll just give you an example. He wrote to Macintosh, he wrote to W. Moore, he wrote to William Kelly, he wrote to a lot of the sisters. And then also there was some letters that were just written to brothers, no names mentioned. He also wrote to Robert Chapman, who was the disciple of love. Oh, I love his testimony. Chapman, he traveled all over, a lot of different towns. Chapman did, and even up till he was 99 years old, he was walking to all these different little villages and sharing his faith. He was called the brother of love. And then also he wrote to J.G. Bellett, and he wrote to G.V. Wiggum. There was others that he wrote to too, and all these writings that he wrote to, these were great brothers and friends of his, and they had nothing but good to say about the man. So when I read things that were wrote uh, against him, I don't believe them. I believe some of the information that's out there is bogus. It's just not true. He was called a extremist, a pre-trib rapture cult, and also called a exclusive brother, along with Schofield. And Schofield got a bad rap also. And there was a mentioned a student of Darby's whose finances were checked in, but all these things that came out were I don't believe him because I trust all these men that spoke kindly of J. N. Darby. In fact, J. N. Darby was not a well man. He was sick most of his life, and he had a lot of ailments, and he just he was just such a man of God, though, and he served the Lord with and he loved the Lord, and you can tell this by all his writings and all these letters. So I just want to mention that when we think about Darby, don't believe everything you hear about him negative. Just check these letters out for yourself. I've read 160 letters so far, and there's over 1,000 letters. And Lord willing, if He gives me enough time on this planet, I plan on publishing all his letters, and you can read for yourself what a great man he was. So whether you agree with me or not, this to me is the truth. Go by some of these brothers that we can trust. Robert Chapman, William Kelly, just to mention a couple. There's so many more. Just check what they have to say about Darby, and you're going to find out that he was a great man of God. He's not everything that people say against him. And as far as the pre-wrath rapture, or pre-trib rapture, I would say that he's spot on from all the studies that I have done in the scriptures. And we have to rightly divide the word. We have to realize when the word is speaking to the Jew or to the Christian. There are different takes on this, so you need to study to show yourself approved. And I wanted to make this short podcast to just tell you that this man, I believe, was a great man of God. And that's why I'm doing all his letters. I'm trying to get out all the information I can, uh, and you can judge for yourself. So with that said, I'm going to end this podcast, and that's what I have to say about John Nelson Darby. Bye for now.